Okay, so let me share real quick here. And hello, everyone. My name is Vinicius Garmatz. I have here a quick prototype showing how to create a pre-populated inspection form. So first of all, let's really go through the form so I show you what I did. So I created one simple form here as an example that will have one question that will serve using conditional logic as the base to determine what needs to be presented in that particular form. So let me take this one here. Um, I did a few updates here, create revision, so you can see how it looks like. So first thing, edit, you will see that I actually have in this inspection form one question that is visible by default and three hidden questions that will show up based on the responses from the previous one. So if I go to my conditions, you will see that, okay, these are really the conditions that I have. So when it's bigger than one, it will show one. When it's bigger than two, show two, three, and three. Okay, so this is really the logic. So a basic form here. So behind the scenes, I wrote a script and I will cover that later on. But let me show you how it looked like in action. And right now I'm really using the browser here as an example, but whatever I do in the browser really works also in the mobile app when I download. So this is a shared environment. I hard coded really to always pre-populate only when I'm using these and another asset, as well as that individual particular inspection form. What I'm doing there is really pre-populating the initial question with the specification value from the stage attribute. So let me really create these unscheduled inspections. So the form that I created was 1016. Let me assign it to myself. And let me put due date here as 1st of January. And okay, I have the inspection created. I can come in here, view work details. You will see that I have one inspection that is in pending. I can launch it from here, or I can really download these results to the app and work from mobile as well. Just to illustrate that, I will go through the same flow as I was going in the mobile app. In this case here, I'm opening really the inspections application, and let me find that result for me to record. So if I go to my pending list, you see that I have one here that is due in January 1st. If I start this inspection, you will see that it came with the number 2 pre-populated based on the spec attribute that I have from the asset record, from the stage attribute. And based on the conditional logic, okay, 2 stages, 2 questions, I can change it to 3, 2, 1, and that's it. So pretty simple here as a way to create a pre-populated inspection form that will also contain a condition associated to that, which is quite typical for customers that might have different pumps, different assets uh, that might change their form based on a specification attribute. So let's go a little bit to the IT side right now, because the magic happens here with an automation script. A pretty simple script, to be honest, that I created. So demo pre-populated inspection question. So before going to the logic there, so I'm really running this, as I said, just for that form and just for these two assets to, as an example. the script will actually run when when I add a new inspection result. So I created the unscheduled inspection from the asset record. I can create the same inspection from an asset, sorry, from a work order or through a PM that it would do exactly the same thing. So before saving is really when I need this option running, and only on additions. Otherwise, if I do updates here, it will run the exact same script when I start the inspection, and likely it will end up with duplicated values, which I don't want. But here is the logic. So pretty simple. So I'm really fetching the alphanumeric version and alphanumeric value from that attribute in the specification. That specification, that stage attribute is actually classified as alphanumeric. And the way that I'm doing that is really okay. I'm really running the inspection result object, which is my enable here, that have a relationship called assets. So one result, one assets. From the asset record, I created a new relationship to the asset spec to hard code it to the stage attribute. I can have other ways to query these and fetch that result, but I really put that as part of a relationship, and I will cover these in a minute. And then I fetch the record from the specification and really get the alphanumeric value from that attribute. So in a single line, I'm really going straight to the classification, to the specification of the asset, and fetching the alphanumeric value. Getting here the current date, and then from the current inspection record that is being created, which is the object that the script is associated to, I'm really fetching the INSP field result, which is really the object that contains the responses. So at the moment I'm creating this inspection, I'm already populating a response. I'm adding a response to my inspection form. And of course, result number is the one that is being created from the inspection result object. In this case, I'm really using a numeric response that is coming from the specification value that I have. And here, okay, I hard coded a few things that you can really change on the script. So I'm hard coding here the form that I created, the revision that I'm using, the question, and the response that is expecting to be populated. So I can do this dynamically. I can query the form. I can find exactly what is the latest revision. I just took a shortcut here to make it happen in this demo. And naturally, since those are required, entered by and enter date. So the user that is creating the result already populates that. So pretty simple script. Let me go to the database side again so you can see the logic that I took. I was really running this script in the inspection result object. From there, you could see I took the asset. So the result contained an asset, which matches to the organ site. If I go now to the asset object, you will see that the asset have the spec here somehow. Yeah, so I took this as an example. So asset spec, okay, all the specifications from that asset, but the one that I created was this. I copied exactly the same, but I'm hard coding it to fetch the value from the stage asset, stage attributes from that asset record. So that was pretty much it behind this logic here. So it's pre-populating the response of that particular inspection question, and based on the conditions, it will show or hide really things that I have in that form. So that was pretty much the prototype that I did here. Of course, there are holes in this logic here, as I said, so a few things are hard coded just to show the concept. You have to account also for non-existing specifications in the asset record, questions that perhaps would change, things that likely you would do in a production environment. And since this is just a proof of concept here to show the art of possible, I would recommend you engaging with our consulting team or any other business partner really to make this happen. So that's pretty much it for this prototype. Thank you for your attention.